No one could soothe the baby on the plane until a black boy hummed a tune that changed everything. No headings, no subtitles, just a smooth, dramatic, Netflix-quality narrative with a powerful moral, plus description hat and keywords at the end. The plane's engines rumbled like distant thunder as passengers shuffled down the narrow aisle, each carrying the same hope every traveler carries on a long flight: quiet, peace, and maybe a little sleep. But peace didn't board. Flight 238 to Chicago that evening. A baby's cries, sharp, desperate, unrelenting, pierced the cabin like a blade. The sound bounced off every seat, every window, every annoyed stare. People shifted uncomfortably, sighing, rolling their eyes. In row 22. A young mother clutched her infant close to her chest, bouncing him, whispering please into his tiny ear. Please, sweetheart. Please stop. Everyone's staring. Come on, babe. Her voice cracked. She was exhausted, mascara smudged, hair flattened by stress, her hands trembling from lack of sleep. The baby only screamed louder, red-faced and terrified. Across the aisle, a white businessman groaned dramatically. Doesn't she know how to shut that kid up? Another woman snapped. This is going to be a nightmare. The flight attendant knelt beside the mother. Ma'am, is he sick? In pain? No, the mother whispered, close to tears. It's his ears. The pressure hurts him, and I've tried everything. Passengers exchanged looks: annoyance, frustration, judgment. In row 23. A 12-year-old black boy named Isaiah watched quietly. He sat with his grandmother, who crocheted calmly, as though she couldn't hear the chaos at all. Isaiah tugged her sleeve. Nana, the baby's scared. She looked at him, her eyes warm and knowing. Yes, baby. He is. Can I help? His grandmother paused, studying him carefully. Are you sure? People get strange on airplanes. I know, he said softly, but he needs someone. She touched his cheek, pride shining through. Then go be that someone. Isaiah unbuckled and stepped into the aisle. Passengers watched him with confusion. Some frowned, some whispered, and a few shot the kind of looks his grandmother always told him to ignore. The baby's mother rocked her infant harder when she saw him approaching, defensive and embarrassed. Sweetheart. It's okay, Isaiah said gently. Can I try something? My mom used to do this with me when I was a baby. The mother blinked through tired tears. I don't know. He's been crying for almost an hour. It's okay if it doesn't work, Isaiah said, but maybe it will. The flight attendant watched the boy curiously. What do you want to try, sweetheart? A song. Some passengers actually scoffed. A song? That's cute. This kid thinks he's a miracle worker. But Isaiah ignored them. He gently held out his hand toward the baby, not touching, just close enough for the infant to focus. The baby shrieked again, his body trembling with panic. Then Isaiah took a breath, and hummed. Soft, low, warm, like honey poured over a wound. The melody drifted into the air, gentle but steady, each note floating like a feather. It wasn't childish humming, it was soulful, deep, kind of sound that touches the bones before it reaches the ears. Passengers froze. Even the crying slowed. Isaiah hummed again, this time adding a quiet pattern of tapping, 3 soft pats on his leg, then 2 taps on the seat back, a rhythm, a heartbeat. The baby blinked. The screams softened. The mother's jaw dropped. Oh my God! Isaiah stepped closer, humming the lullaby like he'd done it 1,000 times. His voice softened the edges of the chaos, like warm light spilling into a cold room. The baby's sob turned into a whimper, then a hiccup, then silence. He stared up at Isaiah with wide, curious eyes. And then he smiled. The entire plane gasped as one. Passengers who had been rolling their eyes moments earlier now leaned forward, shocked. The businessman who'd been complaining whispered, I'll be damned. The mother covered her mouth, tears falling freely. What did you do? Isaiah shrugged shyly. My mom used to sing this when I'd cry too much. She said it slows down the heartbeat. The mother blinked. Did it? Every time, Isaiah whispered. She looked at the boy in a new light softness replacing embarrassment. Your mom sounds like an angel. Isaiah smiled, though his eyes glistened. Mother's face fell. I'm so sorry, sweetheart. He nodded quietly. His grandmother watched from her seat, her hands still, her eyes shining with both pride and pain. The baby reached for Isaiah's hand, gripping his finger with tiny strength. The boy chuckled softly. He likes you, the mother said, astonished. I think he likes the song, Isaiah replied. What song is it? She asked. A lullaby my mom wrote, he said. She used to foster babies, all kinds of babies. She said every child deserves a song made just for them. The mother's voice broke. That's beautiful. The flight attendant, visibly moved, asked, would you sing a little more? I think the whole plane needs it. Passengers nodded, unexpectedly emotional. Isaiah hummed again, not loudly, but with enough warmth to fill the space. People relaxed, shoulders lowered. The businessman even closed his eyes, breathing easier. A plane full of strangers, united by a child's humming. 10 minutes later, the baby was asleep, soft breaths rising and falling against his mother's chest. She leaned close to Isaiah. You're a miracle, sweetheart, she whispered. What's your name? Isaiah. Well, Isaiah, if you ever need anything ever, you find me. People like you are rare. He blushed. I just wanted to help. The businessman across the aisle cleared his throat loudly. Kid Isaiah looked up. I'm sorry for how I acted earlier, the man said awkwardly. You're a good kid. Better than most adults I know. Several passengers nodded, murmuring apologies and admiration. Isaiah smiled politely, but his grandmother walked over, placing a gentle hand on his shoulder. He doesn't do it for praise, she said softly to the passengers. He does it because his mama raised him with a heart bigger than this plane. There was a pause. Then the mother asked, Ma'am, where is Isaiah's mom now? The grandmother looked down, eyes misting. She passed away last year, she said quietly. A car accident, but she's here every day, in the way he loves. The cabin fell silent. Passengers who had judged him now looked away in shame or sympathy. Isaiah simply hummed again. Peaceful, healing. Hours passed. When the plane landed, passengers didn't rush off like they usually did. They waited. They wanted to say goodbye to the boy who had soothed not just a baby but all of them. As Isaiah stepped off the plane, the baby's mother gently touched his arm. Thank you, she whispered. You saved me today. Isaiah looked at the sleeping baby. No ma'am, he saved us. She smiled through tears. How? Because he reminded everyone that people still care. His grandmother put an arm around him, and together they walked down the jet bridge. Behind them, passengers didn't see a little boy. They saw hope in human form, because sometimes the smallest voice carries the greatest healing, and sometimes the most powerful gift in the world is a simple tune hummed by a child with a heart full of love. Moral compassion is a language that needs no words. Even the smallest act of kindness can quiet the loudest. Storms and remind us we're never as separate as we think.